In a countryside village long, long ago, there lived a peaceful group of villagers. One day, the village is attacked by invaders, and the villagers began to lose hope. Invaders outnumbered the soldiers and townspeople 10-1. There was little chance of surviving. Everyone had to support each other or they would fail. The king of the castle had been killed, and all knew their fate if overrun. One soldier, his name now lost to history, pulled everyone together, much like I am talking to you today. He told the townspeople
they could surrender and save their lives, although they most likely would be sold into slavery. The soldiers would remain and fight to the last man. Everyone chose to stay. Wave after wave of invaders attacked the keep. The invading king watched as his men would return in ever-reducing numbers. As he talked to them, he began to hear stories of the fight of the defenders. His men insisted they had never seen anything like it before. The defenders of the keep would scream their terrible screams, fought with reckless abandon, and would never get tired. They showed absolutely no sign of fear, even when being outnumbered 10-1. As the days turned to weeks, the attacks continued, but the attackers' confidence began to waver. The attacking king decided he would lead the final assault to end the conflict. As he led his men toward the keep, he looked upon the defenders and townspeople, who, instead of looking desperate and fearful, stood laughing and looked eager to engage. The king turned to look at his men and saw the fearful gazes back at him. At that point, he stopped his attack and told the men to return to their camp. He continued to the keep alone. As he got nearer, he placed his sword against the entrance of the keep and asked to enter. Once inside, he was directed to a soldier who had been pulled the townspeople together and began to talk to him. The king asked how it was the defenders of the keep would continue to fight all the while knowing they had no chance to survive. The defenders' response took the king by surprise. The defenders said they knew they would not survive, but instead would all die knowing they had died for one another. That it was not a sacrifice because the person next to them was just as important as themselves. He ended by saying it was not king or honor or victory that drove them. It was their love for one another. They would gladly die for that. Upon hearing that, the king left the keep and placed his sword on the wall at the gate, where it still stands today. He proclaimed that the siege was over and that no one should ever invade the castle again. His final words were, "They are defenders no more. They will now be known as knights." This is how the First Order of Knights was formed, and where the name was forever suggests that knights are the defenders of the people. You are lucky to be royal knights, but remember you have a responsibility that goes with that was established 1,000 years ago. Wear the name well. And now we've grown and become many strong kingdoms who battle and compete with one another to honor the legend of the first knight. Be strong, courageous, and compete well, but never forget the honor and responsibility that we have to support one another as we begin our kingdom survival competition. Let the games begin.